Right, today I want to talk about where exactly your eyes should be looking when you're down on the shot and you're feathering and you're preparing to play the shot. What exactly should your eyes be looking at? It seems to crop up a lot that people say, should I be looking at the cue ball, should I be looking at the object ball, and they seem a little bit confused. Now, my advice is that you shouldn't be thinking about it too much. You will naturally get a rhythm where you feel comfortable on the shot, looking between the two balls to make sure that you're lining the shot up properly. So the first reason we look at the cue ball is because you're aiming at a precise place on the cue ball. If I was playing this black with stun, I'm trying to aim at a precise place on the white, and that's exactly where I want to hit it. So I'm having to do some checks on the white ball because I want to hit it very precisely. The same goes for the black. When I check and I look up and I'm looking at the black ball, I'm looking at a very specific contact point on the black, and I'm making sure I'm comfortable that I'm lining the shot up correctly. Now, when you should be flicking between the two and exactly when you should be looking between one and the other, that's going to be personal to each player. So if I line this shot up from behind the shot now, and then I get down, and then I'm checking the cue ball, checking the object ball, checking the cue ball as I do my feathers, and I'm prepared to play the shot, and then I would play it. In my mind, the way to think about it is a tennis player couldn't tell you, so let's say Andy Murray or Roger Federer, they couldn't tell you when they're playing tennis exactly what they're looking at, and when they couldn't say, well, I'm looking at the racket and now I'm looking at the ball and now I'm watching it fly over the net, and that they couldn't tell you. Their brain is just naturally taking care of all those things. So in my opinion, that's the same in snooker. You don't have to worry about it too much. So line up your shot, and what you should be doing is just making sure when you're feathering that you're comfortable, that you've picked the correct line, and that you're going to pop the ball. And then the last thing is, what should you be looking at last when you finally deliver the cue? Now, personally for me, I look at the object ball last when I deliver the cue. This is another massive point of debate. People tend to disagree on this. Again, I know lots of good players that say they look at the cue ball, so there's lots of century break players that say they look at the cue ball last, so if that works for them, great. Again, I think the point is, get your own eye rhythms when you're down on the shot, and then also, whether you look at the object ball or the cue ball, do what feels comfortable for you, not what anyone else is telling you to do. So if I was going to play this shot now, I would line up from behind the shot, do my feathers, make sure I'm comfortable, and then play the shot. And that's it. So the point is, you shouldn't be thinking about it too much. Let your brain naturally get a rhythm between looking from the cue ball and the object ball, and I think you'll be fine. Please subscribe to these videos if you enjoy them. That really helps me. Also give the video a like as well. That also helps just grow the channel. Thanks a lot.